might have
Welcome to you.
speak up a little bit.
I will.
Okay.
Welcome to the Fan Fuel Podcast, Slick Track Edition. I've got Donnie Moran with me. Everybody knows him as the $1 Million Moran. He won the first ever Eldora Million. Donnie, tell us a little bit about yourself and your racing career and your history.
Well, I started racing in 1979, actually on tax day, April 15th, believe it or not. But my dad had cars starting off when I was a little kid, went to the races at Muskegon County Speedway. It was Zanesville Speedway then. That's where I started. Actually raced a few go-karts here and here, not a whole lot, but the first heat race I went out and I got started on the outside pole in the late models. I started in late models and won actually the first heat I was ever in. And that gave me hook, line, sinker, pole, boat, whole 9 yards. I couldn't get away from it. I actually had a career of 35 years of racing, carried it on tradition with my kids here, Wiley and Devin, and Tristan, my other son, he helps me at the racetrack. And now my daughter, Savannah, she's one of the Miss Eldoras, and my other son, Brody, he helps us at Muskegon County Speedway on race night, and it's been an awesome ride.
So you're also into the track ownership promoter role now, right?
Well, my father, Ronald Moran, still owns Muskegon County Speedway, but I've been the promoter for the last 6 years.
Awesome.
So it's been in the family ever since that track was built in the 40s, Louis Morosco, and then he sold it to my dad right at 1980, and there's only been 2 owners ever at Muskegon County Speedway.
Awesome. Well, I know that I've seen you in many different styles of cars throughout the time. What was your favorite actual late model? And this is pre-wedge to wedge, all the way up to the little bit of a stocker period with the Camaro noses, all the way to these full-blown deals like we got today.
Well, it's so hard to say because, you know, the transition that I went through from when I started, like the first car that I actually drove, people won't hardly believe this, but I seen him pull this Camaro into the garage, welded all the body up, the steel body, cut it all off underneath, ended up lifting the whole body and shell off and setting it on a chassis. And that's what I started with, was something like that. And then it's evolved to, you know, a chassis built car from Howe to Ravers to Taggart Tom Pistone in the beginning to, you know, now it's where, you know, you got the rocket chassis and, you know, the Longhorns. And like when I won my first World 100, it was a Bullet chassis. When I won the Million, it was a Raver chassis. When I first won ever to sweep Eldora back to back, you know, with the World and the Dream in the same year, '96, when I had the Big Johnson sponsorship, that was a Masterbuilt car. So there's been a lot of people in and out of racing. What I've seen, you know, through, you know, I'm 59 years old, which I've been started going to the races probably when I was 4 or 5 years old. So, you know, a lot of people, a lot of good products throughout my time.
All right. What did it feel like to be the one and only million race winner before you ever thought that they would see a second edition to this, knowing that that probably would have been the only $1 million race ever run?
Well, it'll be 21 years, and I actually won it on June the 9th, and they got this and scheduled on June the 9th. And, you know, I can say I held the title for, you know, 21 years, and I always hold the title as the first one. But, you know, it'd be really cool to see if Devin could win it, to keep it in the name. But, you know, when people say that, you're the $1 Million Man, you're the son of the $1 Million Man, it's a lot of pressure on Devin. And I hate to see people keep pounding, well, your dad did this, or you good as your dad, you better as your dad. You know, Devin's his own person. I like to help him. I like to try to guide him a little bit. We raced together for quite a few years. Now he's basically, you know, runs his team himself, and him and Wiley does an excellent job. But to keep it in the family, there's no words, you know, just maybe pray to God that it would happen.
All right. Well, thanks for taking your time out for a quick interview. I really appreciate it, and I'm going to get to go to this Eldora Million, and where I didn't get to go to the one that you won, so it's going to be a treat nevertheless to see at least the second one if they don't ever do it again after that. So
it's pretty cool. I mean, the hype is there. You know, won World 100s before, won the Dream before, won a dirt track championship before, won 7 or 8 championships in series, but it was nothing like the Million, you know, when it was just phenomenal. It was just a life experience I'll never forget.
Great. Thanks for taking the time again. And
You're welcome.
Good luck with Devin tonight, and y'all have a good one. And
All right,
hopefully it comes out
go
on top.
Devin. Let's go.